Hey, amazing friends. I'm honoured to be of legendary Ashish. How are you, Ashish?
I'm doing great. It's amazing weather, Ed. How are you?
I know, it's been absolutely awesome. I've got to say, it's a beautiful day on the harbour. It's so good being back in the CBD, isn't it?
I know it's been such a while. I love driving here. Initially, I never liked it, but I love driving here. I love walking here. It's been so long since I've been around the harbour. I love it. Thank you.
Now, thank you for coming. Look, I know you're a busy man. I just want to grab you for a few minutes just to talk about you and what you're up to and how you're into property. Now, I was just going to say, tell us a little bit about what you do, Ashish, and how you help people.
So, I am a buyer's agent. Not everyone knows what a buyer's agent does. They're exactly like real estate agents, just that they're charging buyers to buy property for them. So all the legwork, the due diligence, it is on the buyer's agent to do. So I love what I do. It's my passion, and I've just made it my profession. So I do love it. I also buy investments across Australia. I target top 1% growth markets of Australia.
Wow. Now, I was saying before off camera as well, and I'm a bit of a tech guy too. So you used to be an IT guy, and then now you're a full-time property guy. Tell us all about it. Like, how did you get there? What actually happened?
So I think you know how people say you make a side gig, turn a little bit into income, and then see if the side gig works for me. That's exactly what I've done. I've made my side hustle to a full-time gig. So I used to be in IT, working majorly with the big fours. I used to work around Harbour, just in front, and then so I was I was an IT manager, service manager in my last role, but I also was investing in property. So I've seen so much. People do not hire professionals just thinking they know what they do. But tell me one thing: would you represent yourself in $1 million lawsuit? No, you won't. So people, what they do is they go ahead, buy $1.5 million properties, and they get burnt. Even in cheaper properties, 5 to 700K they're spending. It's huge amount, right? So even though you're just putting in 60 to 80K from your own pocket, it's hard-earned money, right? So you're spending next 15, 16 years paying down those debts. You need representation. You need to have people who know what they're doing, and I initially took support. Then I learned a lot on property stats, how property works, what type of property to buy, where to buy. That's what I'm exactly doing for my clients now. Last 1 year I've been in business, and I was working part-time. Not many know I've been working part-time since 2018. So with that sort of experience, I've closed about 100 negotiations so far. I've supported nearly 100 people, 50 odd, 60 odd our clients. I've ramped up pretty well, and that's because I'm doing something well, right? So, and that's where I get a lot of repeat business. That's pretty much what I'm doing, but that's what I am doing. I own Oswald Buyers Agency, and I'm a buyer's agent.
Oh, very cool, Shish. Now, Shish, I want to ask you. Now, as we're doing this, we had, of course, 3 big lockdowns in Sydney. 2 were absolutely huge, right? I just want to ask you about lockdowns. What did you see happen to the property market in both lockdowns, and what are some of the trends and stuff you want to give us some commentary on?
Okay, so with the lockdowns, I've seen so many trends. There's a segment of people who are just waiting and watching, and they've been waiting for last 2 years, right? There are a segment of people who just jump on board, but they don't know what they're doing. Then there are people who engage professionals, and what I do is I take them to growth markets. I've been buying in South Australia, I've been buying in Queensland, I've been buying in Victoria. So from here, the importance is to have a good team. Have a good team in place, someone who knows their stuff, someone who knows what's happening on the ground. That's what you combine everything and you spot a winner. So the lockdowns have taught us, be remote and still keep doing what you're doing. Now, I've been doing this since almost 2015. It's been 7 years. My first property I bought unseen. I never visited there. So it's all about the desktop research. Plus then you start probing on the professionals who are on ground. I think that's pretty much what the lockdown has taught me. You be where you are, but never underestimate the power of having a good team.
Wow. And I was going to ask you as well, I'm going to ask you big economy questions. And again, I'm asking you to look into the future, a crystal ball.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen? Now, I'm going to give an assumption to make it easy. Assuming we get no more crazy lockdowns, What is your views on what's happening in the property market in Australia over the next year? What do you think is going to happen in 2022? Again, assuming no lockdowns, I'll make it easy for you.
Yeah.
With that assumption in place, what are your predictions as to how things are going to play out?
Okay. Here's what it is, right? Not many people know. Every single property that I'm buying, either in Queensland or in Victoria, even for that matter, outskirts Victoria or New South Wales, every single property that goes on rent sees at least 3 to 5 applications. Now, Canberra, one property, 100 applications for rent. Now, what I see is when the lockdown is no longer there and people have already started moving, right? So they're going different states, they're coming out, everyone's accepting what's happening, and that's what one needs to do. But the moment lockdowns are over, the immigration would start, the migrants would start coming in. So what would happen is the first target would be the rental stock. The moment rental stock depletes, the rents would start going up. That's where the investors would again jump in. I do not see any impact to the markets. The growth may slow down for a while in certain markets. There are few markets where there's very less stock. There's nothing on the market. There's nothing that's coming on the market. There's very less listings. So listings have gone down as well as compared to last year, nearly by 20% in the same sort of time frame. I think the stock's pretty tight already. So from here on, even if it is a slight positive thing, it's gonna put pressure on the prices and the rentals.
Wow, well said. I was going to say, it has been such an honour having you with us. I know you're a busy man. I just wanted to say, how can people get into contact with you if they're interested in getting some property help?
Look, the best is I love to educate. So best is they subscribe to the YouTube channels. They hop on LinkedIn, Facebook pages. They can book a call on my website if they really want to get in touch. But that's pretty much the channels would be. As you're right, pretty much everyone who's buying property for clients is busy, not just the real estate agents. So I think it's all about improvising and at the same time being able to give time to clients and whoever wants to get in touch. I'd love to talk to people. I'd love to network, and that's what I'm here to do.
Ashish, you're amazing. Now I just want to give you the final closing thought. What are some closing thoughts or tips for our wonderful friends around the world? What's your final thoughts and thinking?
All right. I'm not a complex person, so a very simple tip. You should know what you're doing. So either you hire professionals or you educate yourself. There's no middle grounds, right? So you spend time to educate or you hire the professionals. Either way, you have a good team in place. You can't run a business without having decent people, and buying property is like owning a business. That's all. The last thing I'd like to end by saying, you listen to people who've achieved what you are trying to achieve. Otherwise, there's free advice all across the world out there. Just be careful who you listen to.
Ashish, I'm glad we're listening to you. Thank you, Ashish. Everyone, like, share, and comment. Follow Ashish. Ashish, we absolutely appreciate you, my friend.
The pleasure's all mine.